You know, ladies and gentlemen, when Rod Serling put together the Twilight Zone, he was looking at different ways to present kind of a stage play in a TV format. And in this episode, probably one of the most difficult Buzz Kulik scenes he directed in the series, and it's chilling in its perfectiveness and chilling in its melancholy. Now, it occurs in a show called The Trouble with Templeton. Now, this was episode 45 of the American TV anthology series The Twilight Zone, starring Brian Aherne, the beautiful Pippa Scott, and of all people, Sidney Pollack, who was a big actor at the time. The episode originally aired on December 9th, 1960. Written by E. Jack Newman, and with music by Jeff Alexander, who plays a big part of it because of the kind of flapper era. In this one, Serling says, "Pleased to present for your consideration Mr. Boot Templeton, serious and successful star of over 30 Broadway plays, who is not quite all right today. Yesterday and his memories is what he wants, and yesterday is what he'll get. Soon his years and his troubles will descend on him in an avalanche. In order not to be crushed, Mr. Boot Templeton will escape from his theater and his world to make his debut on another stage, in another world that we call the Twilight Zone." And of course, Serling, a lot of motif of first and second season, was looking back. Now, aging Broadway's actor Boot Templeton is at home watching his much younger wife, Doris, flirting with a gigolo by the pool. Boot notes that he hasn't achieved any contentment with his wife and reminiscence about the happiness he had with his first wife, Laura, who died after 7 years of marriage. Boot leaves to attend the first rehearsal of his new play, where he learns that the director has been replaced. The new director, Arthur Willis, shows no respect for the experienced Booth and questions his commitment to the play. Pressured and desperately unhappy, Boot runs out the stage door and discovers he's been transported back 30 years to the early days of his career. A stagehand informs him that his wife, Laura, is waiting for him at the speakeasy around the corner. He finds her there, flirting with a much younger man, Barney. Laura's cavalier towards Booth, and in his frustration, he snatches the script Laura used to fan herself and implores Laura to appreciate their life together. Laura rebuffs all Booth's attempts at conversation, laughing in with Barney, and eventually she tells Booth to leave. Of course, she's dancing with Barney. It's kind of sort of like a flapper type thing. But as he does leave, everyone in the speakeasy stops and looks on with slight sadness. The music stops and the room grows dark. Now, what Kulik does in the scene, he takes it from a 10 to a 0. And you need a good actress like Pippa Scott to convey the fact that they want him to stay with them, but he has to go back. And it's really effective because the whole style, ladies and gentlemen, is extremely dramatic and extremely sad. You got about 50 to 100 actors plus the smoke, plus the music, and the scene goes dark. Literally, it looks like an episode like of the Twilight Zone where, the big goodbye, where the guy said, "Will they exist after you go back?" And he said, "I really don't know," and it goes to dark. Now, when Boot runs back in the theater in the present, he finds himself with Laura's script and notices that it's a play titled "What to Do When Booth Comes Back." Boot sees that ghosts from his past were not mocking him, but actually had staged a performance for him in order to break him free from his paralyzing nostalgia and longing for the old days. Realizing that Laura loved him and didn't want him to be stuck in the past, Boot returns to the rehearsal, asserts himself, dismisses the producer of the play, and tells director Willis that he will no longer tolerate any invalidation. Commanding the respect that is due as a distinguished actor, Boot begins to live happily in the present time with the new future. Now, the closing narration by Serling, Mr. Boot Templeton, who shared with most human beings the hunger to recapture the past moments, the ones that softened with the years. But in his case, the characters of his past blocked him out and sent him back to his own time, which is where we find him now. Mr. Boot Templeton, who had a round-trip ticket into the Twilight Zone. So, E. Jack Newman, at the time, was an Edgar and Peabody Award-winning American writer and producer. Now, born in Toledo, he moved to Denver as a child and eventually graduated Colorado State College in Greeley. Now, he wrote for numerous dramatic radio shows such as On Stage, Yours Truly, Johnny Dollar, Richard Diamond, Private Detective, Hallmark Hall of Fame, Fort Laramie, Pursuit, and Suspense. Now, his many TV credits include, besides The Twilight Zone, Frontier, Wagon Train, Bonanza, The Untouchables, Dr. Kildare, The Asphalt Jungle, and Gunsmoke. Now, while writing for TV and radio, He took creative writing classes, eventually earned a law degree from University of California, L.A. Now, The Venetian Affair in his lone film, he was writer, director, producer, and a very, very interesting movie if you can get it. He also played an identified actor. Now, this film, it was Robert Vaughn and Elke Summer. It's based on a 1963 novel of the same name by Ellen McGuinness. In this one, a former CIA agent, Bill Fenner, an alcoholic slide and working as a reporter for a wire service, is sent to Venice to investigate the shock suicide bombing of an American diplomat at a peace conference. So if you can find it, it's a very good movie. I saw this, and what really stood out for me, Boris Karloff and Roger C. Carmel, great character actors both are in it. It was a MGM, B level. And Ed Asner is also in this as well. Now, it was released in theaters in '67 and only on DVD in 2011, but their reviewers were quite terrible. But our great writer here did a perfect job in conveying both sides of the past and the future. Now, the E. Jack Newman papers are in actually the Wisconsin Historical Society. The collection includes scripts, correspondence, production reports, and other material from his career. Now, he wrote 2 episodes of The Asphalt Jungle, which led him to win the President Eisenhower Freedom's Award for the Scott Machine. In Climax, he was an Edgar nomination for Best Episode in a TV series. And The Berlin Affair, he won an Edgar Award for Best Episode in a TV series. Got a nomination for The Blue Knight, very underrated. Law and Order, the original. He got a Primetime Emmy Award nomination for writing and producing Inside the Third Reich. And he got a Writers Guild America nomination for Best Adapted Long Form for Voices Within the Lives of Trudy Chase. But Inside the Third Reich, this was the Rutger Hauer movie that he was playing Albert Speer. If you can find it, it's a very, very, very good movie. So all in all together, good acting, good directing, good writing. I think the thing is that this episode stands out for me because you have to be a certain aspect of understanding live cinema. There was no second take on this. It went directly from Templeton leaving the place, and as soon as he leaves, there was a total change between Pippa's look of disdain to Pippa's look of pity and sadness. Like she wanted to tell him, but she couldn't tell him. Like I said, to me, it's one of my top 25 Twilight Zone episodes. Some people find it kind of triacal, but I feel it really meets the pace of what needs to be done in these type of episodes, like what I call the Serling looking back episodes. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what we're doing here, we're a Twilight Zone podcast. Let us know with a like, comment, subscribe, or share. And don't forget, we have an archive of Twilight Zone and Night Gallery episodes here. Please check them out. And if you like them, tell your friends. If you don't like it, don't tell nobody. Have a good one.